Welcome back to the Fun Astrology podcast for Tuesday, June 25th. Thomas Miller back again. Thanks for joining us. I wanted to focus today on this, again, stack of energy in Cancer. We have the Sun. You know what was interesting about this is the Sun and the Ascendant are in Cancer. So is the North Node, Mars, and Mercury. So let's just focus on that Sun Ascendant thing because that really covers the whole essence of who you are. If we think about our sun sign, that's our shining in the world. Our Ascendant, that is the level of the horizon. That was where the horizon was when you were born. Okay, so think of the astrological wheel over at the 9 o'clock position. That's right there. That line at the 9 o'clock position is the horizon. When the sun peaks up over the horizon, that's the Ascendant. And same thing over on the 3 o'clock side of the chart. That's where the sun tips down over the horizon in the evening. So you can play with that. And yes, up at the top of the chart, 12 o'clock. And yes, down at the bottom of the chart, the middle of the night. So it's kind of cool. You can look at the chart just with that frame of reference. And as you look at the planets from that perspective, you can see whether they were A, above the horizon or below. Were they above that line or below that line from 9 to 3? And you can see how they were relative to each other, even right now or on the day of your birth. Kind of cool to look at it from that perspective. But the Sun and the Ascendant that is so representative of everything of who you are. So back to this Sun Ascendant Oracle planet. So the Oracle planet is the planet that crosses that horizon. It's the one that is up in the horizon right before your sun comes up. So as I'm looking at the chart for today, that would be Venus. And you can play with that as kind of an addition to the personality. It's like this. It's like the starry universe is saying, hey, you, whatever your name is, put your name in there, is getting ready to be born into the universe. It's really a cool thing. So you could play for people being born today. All the kids being born this morning around the world have Venus as their oracle planet. So they could play with, they are a little bit more given to love. They probably are going to be homebodies because they've got that Cancer Sun and Ascendant, so they're going to be rooted to the home, and they might make a very beautiful home. See, you can put all of the characteristics of the two things together. But yes, in your chart, there was an oracle planet. How can you find it, you're asking? Well, it's a good question. So take the day of your birth, and what you're looking at is sunrise on that day. So you have to adjust the chart to that time, whenever the sunrise was. And if you don't know, just put it to 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. See if the sun, where the sun is relative to 9 o'clock. And then you'll be very close at that point. But it will surprise you because, and let me give you a case in point, and I really don't like to do this, but I will use my own chart as an example. I was born at 8:30 in the evening. So my sun is sitting there at just below that 3 o'clock position, okay? But it has Mars and Neptune sitting right on top of it. They're all right in a line together. And then the moon is over there just a little bit to the left. Okay, so what you do is you rotate the wheel. In this case, backwards, because we're going back to the sunrise on the day I was born. See, if you're an evening baby, then you rotate it back to the sunrise on the day of your birth. And what happened is Mars was the first one up above the horizon. So you can't tell. The moon and Mars and Neptune were all in a race. And you have to wind the clock back. You have to wind the astrology chart back to when the sun crosses up that line and then see what planet is right above it. That's how you call it up. But right now, there is just so much Cancer energy in the field that I thought I would just go back and again review. Let's lock Cancer into our minds so that we can relate more to these energies as we feel them. So Cancer is ruled by the moon. It is a cardinal sign. Cardinal represents new beginnings. What happens in the sign of Cancer? We have the summer solstice, new beginning of summer, right? It's the growing season. The seeds have been planted in the spring, and now it's time for them to sprout up and grow. Cancer is also the sign of the soul. Ooh, I love that. Governed by the moon? Yeah, you bet. Deep, emotional, spiritual, watery. So cancers can be tenacious and highly imaginative. They are loyal, emotional, obviously. They can be very sympathetic and very persuasive. Cancers are natural merchants. They are salespeople. On the other side, they can be moody, pessimistic. Cancers can be suspicious, manipulative, and sometimes insecure. They are very much homebodies. They can be challenging to get to know sometimes. They like change. Think about the moon changing signs every 2.5 days. Cancers, if you're feeling one thing right now with all this energy in Cancer, just wait a few minutes. It'll pass. You'll be all right. It will change. That's just part of the dynamic here, is a little bit of flexibility. Just roll with it. So I know some of you are wanting to learn astrology better, and this would be a great time to just do some Google research on Cancer, because there is so much energy that we're feeling right now. Because you can connect with it and feel it and experience it, it's a great way to learn about it. So as you read and imprint those Cancer characteristics on your brain, then you can get more in tune with what that sign is all about. And if you're really serious about doing this, get a place, either note cards or a note program in your computer where you can write these things down, where you can go back and review them periodically. That's how you start to put all these pieces together. All right, enjoy the Cancer season. And we'll see you back again tomorrow on the Fun Astrology Podcast. Have a great Tuesday.